What it do? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, you guys? Your girl G here. Welcome back to my channel. And as you can see, I'm finally back. I'm finally back in my humble abode and ready to hurry up and try to knock out these videos and talk to you guys. I was out of town. Went to go see my sister. There was a birthday. Had to go hang out with my nieces and nephew. Then also had to get this hair done. Okay, y'all, because the roots was rooting. Okay, it was coming in thick. And right now, I also want to go ahead and get a trim and just kind of do a refresh because I am going to start using Big Booty Judy's kaleidoscope. I've been hearing good things about it. Because at first I did Hairfinity, and Hairfinity, like the capsule peels, they work really great. I would also say, you know, you guys, if you were looking like to get your hair thicker or healthier, Hairfinity is something that I definitely use and it works for me. But I thought this time around, you know, let me try kaleidoscope and see what that's hitting for. And then if not, I can always go back to Hairfinity. So you guys, y'all just, you know, I guess we'll just keep a lookout for if I can get these inches, okay? All right, I got a little hang time right now, but I need to grow my hair back out because the stress, man, the stress be making my hair fall out, y'all. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and knock out what I want to talk about first. Let's get into Love After Lockup, all right? Love After Lockup, y'all, this episode, Miss Shonta, please don't do what I think you about to do. Please do not do what I think you about to do, okay, Shonta? But let's not start with Shonta because we gonna have to talk, sis. Let's go ahead and knock out the little yang. So, Kim and Joey. Joey comes back after his, you know, oh, I gotta go somewhere. She like, where you going? Oh, don't worry about it. Man, I'm just, you know, going out taking a drive. And obviously now we see why he left. But at the time, we thinking, oh, hell, here you go. He done took the car. He's sailing off now. This is not a good sign. I guess obviously the producers didn't show that obviously he stopped by a store and picked up a ring for her. But when he got back, she was like, dang, where you been all day? He was like, wasn't gone that long. She was like, yeah, you were. Like, you can't just leave and not say nothing. And so I guess they were having, you know, a little family party, Christmas party. So his mom and niece come over. The niece talks to him because they were super close growing up. Like she said, but that kind of was ruined though when she was in 6th grade. Walked into a bathroom and found a needle, and that basically kind of like shattered her whole world because now she's been jumped into almost an adult position of trying to figure out, like, I'm sure in her back of her mind she still was probably trying to protect her uncle, so she might have hid it or threw it away, and then now she's like stuck with that guilt of knowing, oh my god, like this is like, I'm sure in the 6th grade mind that had to be a whirlwind. And so she said, you know, that really hurt me and I just really want to see the best for you, have a family, da-da-da-da. And, you know, Joey basically tells her, gives her the lip service of like, you know, the only thing I can do is try to show you this time around, but I'm always going to love you, da-da-da-da. So Kim is in the house and she tells Joey, hey, my dad's stopping by. He's like, oh yeah, you know, I ain't worried about it, I'm cool. And she was like, no, you need to talk to my dad. And so he was like, dang, like, should I be worried? And so the dad finally shows up. And I guess, you know, in Joey's mind, he's like, you know, I just really want to show her dad this time around that, you know, I'm serious, I love Kim. And, you know, I'm going to be a man and step up. So he basically gives Kim her present, which was an engagement ring. Okay, y'all, he proposed to her. You know, his side of the family was all, you know, woo! But you could tell the daddy was over there just kind of like, you tell the dad was just like, right. So, of course, she's all happy, tearing up. So the daddy finally take him outside and was like, look, you know, it's been some time since we've seen each other, but I'm not going to get over the fact that, Joey, we knew you was into some stuff and you was, you know, and hanging out with some bad people. And I feel like you took that dirt bike. And Joey didn't answer the question, but then Joey kind of low-key snitched on himself because he goes, well, you know, I know I used to buy stolen stuff, and, you know, I ain't going to tell you that I didn't run across it. So if you ran across it, it's making me feel like Joey didn't take it, but he set it up to where these people could take it, if you get what I'm saying. Like, he told them, hey, I got a dirt bike for you, go around there, pick it up. You know, at this time, he usually keeps the garage unlocked, go in there and take it. Like, I can see him doing that stuff too, so he can kind of like be, real shady with it, like, well, I didn't take it, and who did take it. You might not have took it, but you know how it ended up missing. So the dad's like, I'm sorry, I don't believe him, but he ended up giving his blessing, because at this moment, when you see somebody heading down the road of a bad relationship, there really is nothing you can do but just be like, I told you, like, I all I can do was say my piece. And the dad's kind of, seemed like this is the happiest I've ever seen Kim. So, I just want to let her live in that moment. But best believe 3 months, he going to be back on them drugs. All right. And Daddy, I hate to say, I kind of agree with you too. Because I'm sorry, Kim, but your sons look like a handful. Your sons look like they don't know how to sit down. Okay. They be them white kids that, they be jumping on the couch in the waiting room. Just be screaming and shit like, oh no. And that's going to drive Joey to want to use. And I hope he doesn't. But that's just the life of being a person who's an addict. But now she's like, I got a ring. She wants to rub it in everybody's face, all the girls' faces. That, she basically was sleeping behind their back with, like, she wants to rub it in all them ladies' faces. But it's like, girl, did you really win though? So moving on, who do I want to talk about next? Daniel and Bianca. So y'all, Bianca, she 23, dumb with money, like just dumb, just dumb. Okay, her friend, she talking to her friend, and her friend's trying to give her advice that a true friend would give. Like, friend, I ain't gonna lie, it's giving real delulu. She's like, you think I'm being delusional? She's like, yeah. Like, every time I see you talking to people, if they bring up a point, you get really defensive. It's like, it's almost coming off like you're not wanting to think about these things because you're in love. And she's like, well, I am in love, and maybe that is what I'm doing. But, and so when the more she's talking to her friend, the more it's obvious that she is having these second thoughts, or she's having these logical conversations with herself, but she's letting the brain of, the rose-colored glasses kind of take over. It's like, that's what is taking over for her. Like, she can only think about what this could be. So all she thinks is like, Daniel. Like, let me get to Daniel. Shoot, she already paid this lease up 4 months, So yeah, the friend is just kind of like, I love you, but this is crazy, And here this girl go with the typical comeback, and I'm sure that's what that man told her. I'm sure it is. And like, my friend, I hear what she's telling me, but I'm not gonna lie, it's starting to feel like, she's really jealous. Like, because she's here and she's not doing anything, and I'm going off and experiencing, life. Like, it's just giving, like, it's, just jealousy. And I was like, oh, so young, so naive, so stupid. So she ends up talking to Daniel. They finally get a video chat. And she, is talking with him, and she's like, what's going on? Like, it feels like something's different with you. And he's like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I have anxiety. I think a lot of people who are out in the real world it's easy for them to get stuck with this fairy tale of, obviously, what these niggas be saying in jail. But the idea that when these people come out, they're going to be able to, get right to running. Oh, you're going to find a job. You're going to do this. You're going to build it. Like, it's so easy to say that. But they never really think about the mental capacity or the mental shift that has to happen from somebody who's leaving prison to going in the real world. Because when you're in jail, none of the responsibility is on you. As much as it's like I get told what to do every day, but there isn't the responsibility of working to pay electricity or get, pay bills. Like, that's not a responsibility. So then that's something that's get thrown on them. Then actually finding a job, being a convict, that's like an extra thing thrown on top. And so it's like the mental shift that has to happen, a lot of these women do not be thinking about. And so now here it is, you want to sit here and question him. He's like, yeah, maybe it has been coming out. So I'm sure he's probably been avoiding video calls with her. He's got a month till he gets out. And so she's like, what do you think it's going to be like? He's like, well, I just, I love you. You've been a support for me. And she was like, well, because you're going to get a job, right? Like, when we get out. And he was like, well, she's like, but you're going to get a job before you leave. I said, girl, how's this Negro going to get a job before he gets out of jail? Think this through. And he's like, well, yeah, there's like a job fair. And so in the confessional, she was saying she going to give him a month because she ain't going to run through her savings. I don't believe it. You are dumb. I'm sorry, you're naive, and you could tell she makes these irrational decisions running from something. And that's essentially what she said at the end when she was crying on the beach. Like, she's like, I'm leaving this beach, I'm leaving everything I know, my friends, that's gonna have to be a long distance relationship. I think after, like, the closer you get to the release date, now all of a sudden people want to start thinking about the logistics for real. Like, oh, like, okay, if they come out, they're not going to be working. Okay, then that means I'm going to have to pick up an extra person. Then if they don't get along with their family, then I got to help them, not break parole. Now people want to start thinking about those logistics the closer you get to the release date. Because it's like, yeah, we in love and everything, but love ain't love ain't the end all be all of these situations. But when she was talking to him, she basically was just kind of like, I really hope it's gonna go well. Do you think it's gonna go well? Like, it's not like we never know or anything. And then he also brings up, drinking. Here's another reason with her being she's super selfish. She doesn't realize she is inconsiderate because, yes, you being in a relationship with somebody who is sober doesn't mean you can't drink. But to blatantly it's almost in a way like, I almost feel like she wants him to relapse and drink with her and have, these good nights out, because she's like, what are you going to do? Like, if I'm drunk, and you could tell, like, I almost feel like she would want that toxic ass relationship of them drinking together and, probably hooking up after that and just the whole cycle. But bitch, you gonna run through your money doing that, one. And two, now this man has relapsed being in a relationship with you because you are thinking, okay, I only pick certain days to drink, or if I do drink and I am getting drunk, maybe that night I'll stay out with a girlfriend, stuff like that. You can tell she's just not really, she's like, because I'm not the one with the problem. And it's like, yeah, but you chose somebody with a problem. And when she said, I almost feel like, I wish I chose, like, I want a normal relationship. And she threw it out there. She's like, I'm sorry, was that inconsiderate? And it's like, well, damn, yeah, like, to say in front of somebody, like, I almost wish I didn't pick somebody like you. Like, that would make anybody feel some type of way. But now here it is, you want to be on the beach praying to the Lord, talking about, please be with me. Jesus ain't make you make these dumb decisions. Helfer, that's all you. And she's like, just, be with me. And it's like, you could tell she knows this is going to go down in flames, but almost wants to see it through to bet on it not going down in flames. And also, too, a lot of women who are in these stupid relationships, they have an ego trying to prove everybody wrong, and you really only end up hurting yourself doing that. But moving on, there is Julian and Christine. Y'all, I'm gonna let you know now, I don't with Julian. I don't trust him, and I see that Negro. I see the type of man that Julian is. He, yes, was in it to get research and everything about, women in jail, but he also is one of those nerdy, insecure men who grew up, obviously not getting a lot of girls and stuff like that. I can already tell. But he sees this woman as a way to fulfill his urge to be the man and to have a woman in his life. But you not slick by sitting here hiding this woman away off in your house. So y'all, when they leave, she's obviously sad about leaving because she's leaving where her son is at. Totally get it, but like, she has nothing else to be there for. So she did take him she did take him by the bank, which she robbed. She said all I did was go in there, get a note, came out with like $2,500 because all I was thinking about was getting high. Like, I was trying to get the next fix. She basically was just like walking him through it, and a police drives by and she gets triggered because she's like, ooh, she's like, I gotta go away. And then she also brings up the fact that while she's on parole, if she has any type of intermingling, even if it's just a conversation, she has to report that to her PO. Hold on, you guys, just a second, gotta text somebody. But back to it. Basically, Christine, has that life that she's trying to move past. And, Julian takes her home. He's back in Virginia. And, she wants to be the one to put the key in. So she goes in, and obviously she loves it because in Christine's mind, she's finally living this fairy tale of being saved. Prince Charming has me. And Julian is taking advantage of that. He, as a man who in the outside world wouldn't be first pick, I'll just put it that way. And so now you got this woman, then he starts explaining, well, yeah, you know, when the kids get here, you'll just stay upstairs. And she's like, so when they're here, like, because he hasn't told his kids about her. That's another thing that these people do. Y'all be having kids and family and then don't tell y'all's family and then feel like you're going to wait last minute to do it because you don't know how they're going to react. It's so stupid to wait till the last minute to do that. That's something you need to do early on if you understand that's what you're going to be with, who you're going to be with. But the problem is, Julian is ashamed of Christine. He is embarrassed of Christine, and he doesn't want to say that because at the end of the day, he loves her in some capacity, but he still knows that her history is something that's going to make everybody kind of look at her and him, you know, with a side eye. And Julian, but his want to be the Prince Charming, to be the man, and to be, you know, looked up to, his need and ego to, like, for that to be fed, outweighed the logistics or just him thinking about his solution was, like, I can figure that out. Because that's everything he keeps telling her. Like, you know, we'll figure that out in due time. That's all he keeps saying to her. Because she's like, well, I'm not going to just be hiding away. Like, but I'm just going to trust Julian to, you know, think that it's not going to be that long. Girl, I'm here to tell you, the fact that every other weekend and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days out of the week, you're going to have to figure out a way not to interact with his kids. Like, what? And then you living in the house at the same time? At some point, they might find her shoes. They might see her clothes in the laundry. They're going to be like, Dad, whose drawers is these? Whose panties is these? You know? So it's just like, Julian, I see you, bro. I see you. And Julian, you not Prince Charming. He's gonna take advantage of the situation. She's got restitution, all these things. He brings up her having to work, and she's like, you think I don't know what I have to work and have? But I'm not trying to think about it right now. And it's like, but girl, Christine, no, you gotta be realistic. But Julian ain't saying, he's like, you know, I got a secret or something like that. And he was like, you know, it's just like, I like to be private and this and that. And I'm like, what? I see you. Julian, y'all, the hairs on the back of my neck is sticking up when it comes to him. And I think Christina feels it too, but because of what her life has been, it's better. Like, she's like, this is the best I'm ever going to get. And so she's going to put up with this for a long time. And Julian knows that she's going to put up with it because he's offering her something that she's never had. And he's going to take advantage of that. Watch. Moving on. Who else was in this episode? Zuri and what's her girl's name? Tony? Is it? I think it's Tony. Yeah, so they are at church, right? Out there getting the, you know, Holy Spirit. Okay. Getting the Holy Spirit. The mama over there turned up, lit, high as boots. At first, it went from, oh, your daddy's so funny, to crying, oh, Lord, you know, yes, thank you, Jesus, to get me the fuck out of here. I'm old. I don't want to hear this no more. Like, she had so many emotions in the span of 5 minutes. I think she enjoyed the church, you know, for a little bit. But then she was like, I don't like all that racket. And a part of me was like, I get her, y'all. Part of me was like, because the older you get, you just don't want to be hearing all that extra noise. And it's like, you at church, though, but it's the type of church where it's always just the beating and the drums and the tambourines, and sometimes it can just be too much. I get it, but Mama, you still supposed to show more respect than that. But she said 2, but they kind of found out she said I took 3 gummies. So all that shit is kicking in, and I know her inner demons is in this church trying to run, okay? And that's low key what she said happened, because she went outside. That poor little son, he went out there trying to, you know, help and everything, and they went back in, then Zuri sent him back out to help. I'm gonna need y'all to stop doing that. Stop putting that little boy in y'all business. And the grandma was just so nice, and she's like, you just so cute, but let them know. So she sent him back inside, and finally her family and everything went out there to meet her. And you know, they were just like, you know, so happy to meet you. She's like, I'm sorry, y'all, like, I just couldn't do it. I felt so exposed. Like, y'all not finna expose me, you know. And when she said I felt so exposed, I really feel like her being lit, you know, when you lit, that's why when people do like ayahuasca, or, you know, when you are or mushrooms, when you're under the influence, sometimes you tend to, you know, conjure up some things. And And I think her being high and the spirit on it, I think it freaked her out, because for her to have a history of alcoholism and, you know, drugs and everything, ain't no telling what that lady was like on the streets. And I could tell, and she was like, "Oh, you should see the message your daddy sent me. You know, I don't want to corrupt you or anything." I'm confused though, because I thought her dad and him were together, that he got another woman. So I'm confused. Like, are you the other woman? Are you the side chick, Miss Karen? Because that's what it sounded like. Because I thought you said his daddy walked down the aisle with somebody else and had a baby, you know, or had a baby with you and pregnant at the same time. So I'm gonna need a little bit more info on that. But nonetheless, Zeruiah's kind of taking it as a win, as much as it could be, of like, you know what, they met her. And of course, them being pastors, like, we get it, you know, everybody's gonna show up as they are. That's what we want. So, you know, ain't no skin off my back. The mama's like, I'm just gonna pray for her and let that be what it is. So next person, Zeruiah, Bianca and Daniel, Julian, Christine, Joey and Kim. And then the last couple is, all right, y'all, finally, let's get into Shonta and True, y'all. Shonta, listen to me, daughter. I know you thinking that this baby is going to change this Negro. And I'm here to let you know, snap the fuck out of it, okay? So she went to the baby store with her daughter. She's pregnant, and I think that was her other daughter or niece. I think it was. It could have been her other daughter, because she said she had 4 kids. So I think it might be, both of them might be her daughter. I couldn't see the name on one of them. But nonetheless, she's in there shopping, and she puts on this backpack like, you know, ooh, this would be a cute little mommy bag. And they're like, I guess her grandmother name would be Yaya. So they're like, no, it's a Yaya bag. And she was like, no, it's going to be a mother bag. And they're like, why? She's like, because I'm pregnant. The girl's reaction was like, oh. And it's like, dang, but y'all was broken up. And see, I get why the daughter was asking, weren't y'all broke up though? Because she probably was thinking, oh, y'all was broke up, but y'all was still, okay? Because that's definitely what I was thinking. Shonta, I don't know if I believe you when you say, oh, y'all broke up and y'all only did it that one time. Because it's given you can be weak for True, because at one point you're like, I hate True, I don't want to see him. But in your mind, it's like, but you know, anybody has the capability of being a better dad. It's just a decision. Or like being a good dad is just a decision to do so. This man couldn't even be good to you. So if he can't even be good to you, why do you think he's going to be good to a baby? And then here's the kicker. It ain't just one baby, but she got twins, okay? She got twins. So I don't know if, because True ain't had in the minute that the pre-cum came out and got her pregnant, I don't know what. But she pregnant with twins. And so she didn't tell him. She said she did set an appointment, you know, to terminate the baby. Go to TCBY. If you know, you know. Shout out to Down in the Valley where the girls get naked. Okay. But you can tell she's just thinking these babies is going to make this Negro act right. So she calls, that one daughter was like, this man ain't going to do nothing, you know, be prepared to do this alone. She's like, well, I might not be doing it alone. And then you can tell the daughter's just like, girl, you doing this shit alone. And even Shantae's like, you know, I understand that I'd be doing this by myself. But then again, it's like, so which one is it? Like, do you understand you're going to be doing this by yourself, but then you still, for some reason, have these expectations that True is going to step up? It's not going to happen, Shonta. And so now you call this man and you asking all these questions, talking about, you get a job? Where you staying at now? He's like, what's up? Like, what's going on? But he said he got a job, but he ain't living with where he's supposed to be. He said he got into it with his mom because the girl, you know, that he obviously ended up getting the friend that was at the gym with him. He said that she called the mama and started telling lies on him. Was it lies, True? Was it lies? Because he's like, because I didn't want to be with her. Because remember she said it was okay. Oh, it's going to be too much. You know, I get it. You need somebody who understands that. You can tell that bitch was crazy. But it don't negate the fact, True, that you are a manipulator and you aren't the nice guy that you keep trying to make yourself different from these Negroes that was in jail. Because when Shonta was crying in that car, he called the sister, but walked and saw her and tried to get in the car, and she's crying. You could tell True at that moment just saw the gravity of like what he did, but he a hood nigga. He's not gonna sit there and admit how he contributed to that. You know, and she's like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? Because you broke up with her. Essentially, you broke up with her. So it's like, there is no reason for y'all to be talking. And it's like, oh, but you know, let's still be friends. No, Negro, there ain't no still be friends. Like, she lost her job for him. She bought a house for, like, she was doing too much. She's like, everybody told me, I knew. And that's a different type of anger when you know you are dishonoring yourself and going against yourself. The anger, because deep down it's like you knew, but as humans, we're flawed. Sometimes we go against our better instincts. And True, he's like, oh, you know, the dudes in jail, they just be selling fairy tales and saying lying and then get out and switch up. You know, I'm not like that. No, you're exactly like that. Yeah, you're exactly like that, True. You are them, okay? You want to sit there and pretend they not like us? No, you was him, you was they. And so she said basically it's been a month since they seen each other, but that one time they got pregnant, you know, they knocked boots. Now she ding dong baby pregnant. She like, so is this good or bad news? And he's like, I'm just shocked, you know. Then he tried to switch it on her. Well, why didn't you tell me? And she was like, well, you know, I just didn't know what I was gonna do. Shantae, listen to me, daughter. These babies is not gonna make that man come around. And I think she's lying to herself of like, oh, I don't come down. He's like, well, I'm gonna come down there. Don't come down here. I'm coming down there. No, you better not. She's like, I can't see True. You know, I don't want to be around him. And I think she's purposely staying away from him because she knows she's weak right now and that she'll give in to him. She cannot see him because she knows she will give in to him. And as much as she's trying to say, like, stay away from me, I don't want to talk to you, like you foul, she's doing that obviously off of defense of, and her feelings are hurt. Like, I did all this shit for this man, my feelings are hurt, and so that's what's speaking, but it doesn't negate that at the same time. She's like, yeah, I miss True, I miss him. Like, you miss what those talks from jail did for you. And it's very obvious that Shantae is an insecure woman. She needs to heal through the pain of being assaulted at her job. And the fact that she's even considering that this baby, oh, like, oh, you know, anybody can be a good dad if they want to. It's just a choice. Ma'am, but that's not your choice, though. That's what you keep forgetting. That's not your choice to make. True has to make that decision to want to do that. And True didn't even want to make a decision to be there for you. Show up for you. Because the minute y'all, nigga was out the next morning, okay, having mimosas and bacon, and didn't tell you where he was at. Shantae, y'all, let's just send praise out to Shantae because we all know where this is going. But yeah, girl, that was Love After Lockup, you guys. Tell me what you think about the episode. Do y'all think Shantae's gonna keep the baby? Do y'all think that's gonna make True step up? Okay, she like, do you miss me? You know, you can tell True is just doing everything he can to try to keep her on the hook. Okay. And now he messed up with his PO because he wasn't even staying at the location that he was supposed to stay. And then the girl he talking about, oh, I got a roommate. They were like, do you in the confessional, he was like, oh, do you like fondle with this roommate? He was like, no reply or something like that. Negro, what girl you with now that you was talking to in prison and they gave you a place to stay? Because that's what it's giving. It's giving you was talking to all these women and now you got a backup for a backup. All right. And what do you guys think of Bianca and Daniel? Do you think Bianca is gonna wake up and not let this man spend all her money? All right. I appreciate you for tuning in. Y'all make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I will catch you hoes in the next one. Deuces.